My girlfriend demanded I co-sign for her new apartment. Prove you're committed. I replied, no problem. Then I sent her landlord the video of her bragging about trashing her last place. An hour later, her application was denied and she was frantically texting me. I, 29 male, have been with my girlfriend, Jenna, 27, for a little over a year. It's been nice. Easy. She's beautiful, funny, and for the most part we get along great. But there have always been these little moments, these tiny red flags that fluttered in the corner of my eye. A comment about how her friend's boyfriend just bought her a Cartier bracelet, the way she talked about her old jobs, always ending with how the boss was an idiot or her coworkers were jealous. A general sense that the world owed her something a little bit better than what she had. I have a decent job in data analysis. I'm not rich, but I'm stable. I have a good credit score, savings, a 401k. I'm a planner. Jenna is not. She works in marketing, but bounces from freelance gig to freelance gig. Her finances are what you might call aspirational. Last week she told me she had to move out of her current place. Her roommate is getting married. Instantly, Jenna's entire focus shifted to finding a new apartment. Not just any apartment. A luxury one-bedroom in a brand new building with a rooftop pool, a 24-hour concierge, and an in-unit washer-dryer that probably costs more than my car. I saw the listing. It's gorgeous. It's also about twice what she can realistically afford. I tried to gently bring this up. Jenna, this place is amazing, but are you sure the rent is manageable? She just waved a dismissive hand. Oh, I'll make it work. I'm up for a promotion. I've been hearing about this phantom promotion for 6 months. The conversation I'd been dreading came last night. We were at my place, making dinner. She was scrolling through pictures of the apartment on her phone, sighed dramatically, and looked at me with those wide, pleading eyes. Babe, she started, and I could already feel my stomach tighten. So, I talked to the leasing agent. My application is a little weak. What do you mean, weak? I asked, stirring the pasta like my life depended on it. Well, my income isn't consistent enough for them, and my credit is, okay, not great. She took a deep breath. But the agent said there's a simple solution. I just need a cosigner. I stopped stirring. I knew where this was going. I think I've known for a week. And you want me to do it, I said. It wasn't a question. Well, yeah, she said, her voice getting a little too bright. It's just a formality, a signature. It would prove you're really committed to me, to us, that you see a future. There it was, the emotional leverage. Not a discussion about finances or risk, but a test of my love, my commitment. She was holding our relationship hostage for a lease agreement. I told her I needed to think about it. Think about what? She snapped, the brightness gone. It's a simple yes or no, Craig. Do you see a future with me or not? Because if you did, this wouldn't even be a question. She left in a huff a few minutes later, saying she needed to be with people who actually support her. My phone has been buzzing with texts from her and her 2 best friends ever since. All of them variations of, I can't believe you're doing this to her, and after all she does for you, I feel like I'm being railroaded. Co-signing is a massive financial risk. It's legally binding me to her potential irresponsibility. If she flakes on rent, they come after me. It tanks my credit. But if I say no, I'm the uncommitted, unsupportive dirtbag. I'm trapped. And the worst part is, a small, stupid part of me is wondering if she's right. Am I just being selfish? She needs an answer by Friday. I'm sitting here, staring at my ceiling, and I honestly don't know what to do. Update. The pressure campaign that followed was insane. It was a coordinated attack. Her mom called me, using that disappointed, pitying tone about how Jenna has a sensitive soul and just needs a little stability. I tried to offer compromises, offering to give her a significant sum for a deposit on a more affordable place, helping her budget, and was shot down. She didn't want a cheaper place, she deserved this one. The whole thing made me feel dirty, used. The more they pushed, the more my gut screamed at me that this wasn't about an apartment. It was a preview of the future. By Saturday, I'd had enough. Our relationship felt like it was already over, and I was just waiting for the official announcement. I looked around my apartment and saw all her stuff. The extra hair products in my shower, the stack of magazines on my coffee table, the little box of random tech junk she'd left here months ago because her own place was too cluttered. I felt a sudden, urgent need to reclaim my space. I started packing it all up. I was angry, I admit it. Every item I put in the box felt like a small act of taking my own life back. That's when I got to the tech box. Old chargers, a cracked tablet, and a small, portable hard drive. I remembered her complaining that she couldn't find it and that it had her old college stuff on it. Ordinarily, I would have just dumped it in the bigger box. But the pressure, the manipulation, the sheer unfairness of the situation, it created this ugly curiosity in me. My gut had been telling me for a week that something was off about her, about this whole desperate push. I felt a pang of guilt, but it was drowned out by a stronger feeling, self-preservation. I plugged the drive into my laptop. It was a mess of poorly organized folders. Uni-finals, pics 2021, random crap. I clicked on a folder named April-May 22. It was mostly photos, brunches, parties, the usual. But there were about a dozen video files with generic phone-generated names like img4130.mov. I clicked on the first one. It was just a blurry video of a cat. The next was her and her friends at a bar. I almost gave up. Then I saw a thumbnail for img4135.mov. It was a shot of a messy, empty room with cardboard boxes. It looked like a move-out. I clicked it. The video opened on Jenna's face, flushed from wine, a wicked grin plastered across it. And for the next 10 minutes, I watched in stunned silence as she and her friends documented, with gleeful pride, the systematic destruction of her last apartment. "Okay, so," she slurred, "that piece of trash landlord thinks he can keep my security deposit? Game on." I watched them pour a huge container of craft glitter into an air vent. I watched her friend pour bacon grease down the kitchen sink. I watched Jenna herself drag a heavy chair across the hardwood floors, leaving a deep, ugly scratch, winking as she said, "Good thing the rug covers that." They even left raw shrimp inside the curtain rods. It wasn't just the acts themselves, it was the joy they took in it. The laughter, the pride. The video ended with her raising a bottle of rosé. "Cheers to never paying for your own mistakes," she said. My blood ran cold. This was the sensitive soul her mother was talking about. This was the woman who wanted my name, my credit, my entire financial stability tied to hers. The last piece of the puzzle clicked into place. The entitlement, the casual attitude toward money, the belief that she deserved the best. It all stemmed from this core belief that rules and consequences were for other people. I downloaded the video. I sat there for a long time, the glow of the laptop on my face. The anxiety was gone. The confusion was gone. All that was left was a cold, hard clarity. I knew what I had to do. Update 2. Sunday morning, I woke up with a plan. It wasn't a fiery revenge plot. It felt more like a necessary, if unpleasant, business transaction. I went to the luxury apartments website, found the name of the parent property management company, and then used LinkedIn to find the profile of the regional property manager. It took about 20 minutes of clever searching to figure out their corporate email format. At 9:30 a.m., I sent a very calm, very professional email. Subject: information regarding application for App 14B Jenna. Good morning. My name is Craig. I was listed as a potential co-signer on an application for the above unit by my girlfriend, Jenna. In the process of considering this significant financial commitment, I discovered information that I believe is critically relevant to her tenancy history and suitability as a resident. I feel I have a moral and fiduciary responsibility to share this with you, as I would not want my own property treated in this manner. The attached video file provides the necessary context. Sincerely, Craig. I attached the img4135.mov file. I hit send, and then nothing. The hour later, glorious victory I might have fantasized about didn't happen. All of Monday passed in silence. My sent email just sat there. Jenna, meanwhile, was texting me, her tone having shifted from angry to condescendingly optimistic. Got a call from the leasing office. They're just waiting on the final background check. You're missing out on celebrating with me. My stomach was in knots. Did the manager delete my email? Did it go to spam? Was I about to be legally tied to this person because a stranger didn't check their email? I spent the whole day tense, jumping every time my phone buzzed. The call came Tuesday afternoon. Not from Jenna, but from my own phone buzzing with her name. I let it go to voicemail. Then the texts began. This time they were different. Not immediate rage, but confusion. The agent just called me. She said there was an issue with my application and the regional manager was reviewing it. What does that even mean? An hour later, the real barrage hit. They denied it. They said based on newly discovered information, they were withdrawing the offer. What did you do? They wouldn't say anything else? Just that the decision was final. This has to be you. You sabotaged me. You are a psycho. You will regret this. I swear to God you will pay for this. I read the messages, and the knot in my stomach finally, slowly, began to unwind. It wasn't a triumphant feeling. It was the grim relief of a crisis averted. Update 3. The fallout was messier than I expected. Jenna didn't just get angry. She got vindictive. She and her mother showed up at my apartment on Sunday. I saw them through the peephole and put the chain on before opening the door. The confrontation was exactly as unhinged as you'd imagine. First tears. It was just a joke. We were drunk. Then admissions. That landlord was a jerk. He deserved it. And finally, the demand. You owe me, Jenna stated, her face cold and blotchy. You owe me $10,000 for the emotional distress and for humiliating me. I told them both to leave. Her mother threatened me with a lawsuit for slander. I calmly explained the difference between slander and sharing factual evidence. I closed the door on them screaming. I thought that would be the end of it. It wasn't. 2 days later, I got a call from an unknown number. I answered, and a polite but firm voice identified himself as an officer with the local police department. My blood turned to ice. Sir, he said, we've received a complaint from a Ms. Jenna, her last name. She's alleging that you are harassing her and that you are in possession of a piece of her stolen property, a hard drive. I could barely breathe. This was her move, a bogus police report. I took a deep breath and forced myself to sound as calm and reasonable as possible. Officer, I said, I can explain the situation. The hard drive was left at my apartment, which I can prove with text messages. The harassment claim is retaliation. She's upset because I refused to co-sign an apartment lease for her, and I can explain why I refused. Okay, the officer said, sounding weary, like this was already the 10th ridiculous domestic dispute he'd handled that day. The reason I refused, I continued, is that I discovered evidence that she intentionally and maliciously caused thousands of dollars in damages to a previous rental property. I have a video of her bragging about it. I sent it to the property manager of the new apartment. That's what this is about. She's not being harassed. She's facing consequences. There was a long pause on the other end of the line. A video? He finally asked. Yes, sir. I'd be happy to come down to the station and show it to you. Another pause, then a heavy sigh. Sir, listen. We're not getting involved in your breakup. Tell her to stop contacting you. You stop contacting her. If she shows up at your door again, call us. But this stolen property claim over a hard drive left at your place isn't going anywhere. Have a good day. He hung up. I stood there, phone in my hand, shaking. She had actually tried to get me arrested. The sheer malice of it solidified everything. This wasn't a bad girlfriend. This was a bad person. The last shred of sympathy I had for her evaporated. Final update. After the police call, I knew I had to do something to protect myself. Her attempt at extortion and filing a false police report crossed a line. This wasn't about revenge anymore. It was about ending this. I wrestled with it for a day, but I knew who I had to call. I called Jenna's mom. She started in immediately, accusing me of traumatizing her daughter. I let her talk. When she finally ran out of steam, I spoke. This is her last name, I said, my voice quiet. I am not calling to argue. I'm calling because Jenna came to my home and tried to extort me for $10,000. And when that didn't work, she filed a false police report against me for theft. I spoke with an officer yesterday. This has gone too far. She's just upset, she insisted, though with less conviction this time. She's committing crimes, I countered. And I think you need to understand the full context of why she's so upset. You need to understand why I refused to tie my name to her. I am going to send you an email. The file attached is the video from the hard drive she left at my apartment. Watch it. Then you can decide if I'm the monster here. I hung up and sent the email. The effect wasn't immediate. There was no tearful, apologetic phone call. There was just silence. But through a mutual acquaintance, I started to hear things. Whispers of a massive blowout fight at their house. Jenna's mom wasn't just mad. She was deeply, profoundly humiliated. She had defended her daughter, called me, and put her own reputation on the line, all based on a lie. Seeing the gleeful, destructive pride in her daughter's face on that video, and knowing it was real, broke something in her. There was no clean break. It was a slow, agonizing crumble. Her parents didn't kick her out right away, but the support system vanished. No more handouts, no more covering her car insurance. They told her she had to get a real full-time job and start paying them rent to stay in her childhood bedroom. The dream of the luxury apartment was replaced by the harsh reality of her own choices. Jenna is still around. I see her posts sometimes on social media. The curated brunch photos are gone, replaced by angry, vague rants about fake people and life being unfair. She got a job working at a cell phone kiosk in a mall. She had to sell her car. She moved out of her parents' house last week into a dingy room-for-rent situation she shares with 2 other people. Seeing her downfall doesn't bring me joy. It's actually kind of pathetic. It's the sad, inevitable trajectory of a life built on deceit when the lies finally stop working. There's no glamour in it. I'm left with a profound sense of relief, but it's tinged with sadness for the person I thought I knew. The experience forced me to grow a spine I didn't know I had. I learned that no is a complete sentence and that protecting your own future isn't selfish. The justice wasn't a cinematic explosion. It was the slow, quiet, and unavoidable process of gravity taking over. And I am finally, truly at peace.